Here we go. Hello, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you so much for joining us, and welcome to our webinar tonight. We're happy you're here to learn about optimal nourishment before, during, and after your healthy pregnancy. This is such a special and critical time for moms and the babies, and tonight we want to share with you the evidence-based and really simple and convenient things that you can do for yourself to prepare for and feel comfortable about your choices during this time. I hope you leave this webinar feeling empowered to make simple changes for yourself and your family. So tonight you're going to hear from myself, Annie Ferret, Amanda Warner, and Ashley Burr. And together we are moms on a mission to share our own personal stories and to inspire other moms to make informed decisions about, our family's health and our own personal health. And when sperm meets egg, if we think about that moment, it is just a miraculous series of processes that start right then and there and ultimately results in trillions of cells. So we're going to approach this topic with humility, and we're going to share what we know today with expecting mothers and women who are looking to expand their family. So I'm going to kick us off by telling you about myself. And as I said, my name is Casey Schloss, and I graduated from the University of Missouri, Kansas City with my doctorate degree in pharmacy in 2010. And I went on to manage a busy community pharmacy in my hometown. And we were busy. Like I said, we dispensed anywhere between 1,500 and 2,000 prescriptions a week for a town of only about 10,000 people. For as long as I can remember, I had been intrigued with how the human body works, why people get sick. And so I went on and developed and implemented our independent clinical program. Then I went on to become a clinical pharmacist for a larger pharmacy chain, became the clinical point person and lead clinical programs. I led the clinical programs for 34 stores in Missouri and Illinois. And in total, I spent 13 years in community pharmacy. Then in 2014, something really started to change. I was prompted by this realization that my pharmacy patients weren't really getting any better. And, I guess some of them benefited from contemporary medicine, but as a whole, they just seemed to get worse and worse. And it led me to really start to question why. And what does it mean to really be healthy? What does it mean to treat from more of a holistic approach? And what does it mean to even prevent disease? So you can say I really had a shift inside to more of a functional pharmacy approach, which is more of a healing-oriented approach that takes into account the whole person, including all aspects of lifestyle. I'm also a mom of two. Our daughter Cameron is almost 4, and Will, our son, is 2. And when I went through my own personal health crisis and autoimmune diagnosis as an adolescent, my hematologist at the time, he's nationally well respected and known, he told me, he said, listen, I'll never forget this, he told me and my mom, when you're ready to start a family, when she's ready to start a family down the line, that I would really need to contact him because I would be extremely high risk as a pregnant mom because of my health history. And further, later, whenever I got pregnant, I discussed it with my OB, and we decided that we would reach out to him if I experienced any complications. And I also told him that I was going to take Juice Plus, but no prenatal. And you're going to hear more about that tonight because of the lack of research on bioavailability of prenatal vitamins. And what I saw as a potential downside, I was just not willing to risk. And I don't know what he thought when I said that, but he was totally supportive of my choice. So what I did during my personal pregnancies, I doubled up on my Juice Plus. I drank 2 shakes a day. I ate healthy stuff every day, at least something. And you know what? I wasn't perfect. I gave in when I had cravings and within reason, of course. But Chris and I, my husband and I, have been blessed with 2 completely healthy pregnancies and 2 of the healthiest little babies. And I've bounced back from both of these pregnancies very well, breastfed both of my babies for the first year of their lives. And I never did have to reach out to that hematologist, by the way. So after everything I've learned and experienced, and hearing the stories of countless others, I'm 100% convinced that the mom's nutrition, before pregnancy, throughout pregnancy, and post-pregnancy, it matters, and it matters a lot. So what about fertility and diet? And I just want to touch briefly on fertility and diet. We don't take this subject lightly because, I know there are so many women out there who are trying to get pregnant. In fact, about 10% of women, which is 6.1 million women in the US alone from ages 15 to 44, they have difficulty getting pregnant or staying pregnant. That's according to the CDC. And like I said, I know this is a very sensitive subject, but we know from the research that diet and lifestyle choices can have a big impact on someone's ability to conceive. And I won't go into more detail tonight, but if this is something that is special to your heart and you'd like to learn more about it, we have a really awesome resource for you from an OBGYN talking about this specifically. So be sure, like I said, if this is special to you, be sure to ask the person who invited you to this so that you can get access to that recording. But I think every pregnant mom and a mom who's looking to get pregnant, thinks about what she eats while she's growing her unborn child. And so let's talk about what we put into our bodies before, during, and after pregnancy. According to experts, the good news is it's really not that complicated. The rules for, healthy lifestyle are the same as the rules during pregnancy. So it's the same no matter what, but it's critically important because the choices that we make during pregnancy are going to impact the child's life for the rest of their life. So to put it simply, we should eat a large variety of fruits and vegetables, whole grains, get plenty of exercise, drink lots of water, and get adequate rest. That's no surprise to anyone. I'm sure it's things you already know. But when we're talking about the impact of nutrition, we're talking about cellular health here. So the quality of the eggs being released from mom, the quality of the sperm from the dad, the quality of the embryo that's grown from a single cell to that multicellular being, the quality of the endometrial surroundings, so it's really everything. That's the lining of the womb that the embryo is going to implant into. Reproduction is ultimately impacted by this environment and by nutrition. And I want to quote Dr. Mitra right here. She said, I want you to consider all those 6 billion biochemical reactions that occur in each cell of our body every second. This is not to be taken for granted. That is, without proper nutrition, not all of those miraculous reactions will always take place as they should to provide optimal health for you and your baby. When the body gets adequate nutrition, it expresses its full complement of active enzymes to make all those trillions of reactions occur. With nutrition, all enzyme-making factories are on for business. They're open for business. Otherwise, the body struggles just to maintain a viable pregnancy, making a limited number of critical enzymes, and the luxuries of additional enzymes needed for optimal health go by the wayside. So what we put in, ladies, really, really does matter. So what about the problem with relying on a vitamin? Most doctors today will recommend a prenatal vitamin. I know that's the standard of care in our country, but we're going to approach this subject tonight because I really want to educate you on the importance of considering whole food supplementation. We know it's critically important to get these required nutrients, right? We know that, especially folate, to prevent, potential problems in pregnancy. But in a prenatal vitamin, we find folic acid, which is the supplement, a synthetic form found in fortified foods and the prenatal vitamins, and it's completely different from naturally occurring folate. Several studies even suggest that it can be harmful to supplement with this folic acid. In addition, and this is honest from my heart to you all, the question my husband and I, my husband's also a pharmacist, the question we asked ourselves when we found out we were pregnant was, how would we even know if a prenatal is going to get into my bloodstream and get to our unborn child when they need it most? And the simple answer we found is there was no prenatal vitamin with any research proving that it would do that. We searched and searched and searched, and the results came back empty every time. So the question we have to ask ourselves, ladies, and teach our friends and our family, every female we know, we have to ask these 3 critically important questions. They're simple, but they're critically important that we have to ask before, during, and after pregnancy. And number 1 is it safe? Is what I'm going to take safe for my body, for my baby? Number 2, will my body absorb it so it can get to my baby and protect me also? And number 3, is it proven to do anything? And that leads me right into this product and program that I'm so excited to share with you guys. And I mentioned it in my story just a little bit ago. But this product, the Juice Plus products and the Shred 10 program, are changing lives all over the world. And the program covers each of those areas that we discussed before. We live in such a polluted world, you guys, that it is not possible to get enough fruits and vegetables just through our regular daily intake to protect our bodies. It's not. With environmental toxins, the food that we eat, things like that, the requirement keeps going up and up, yet the consumption is going down. And at this highly critical time during prenatal life, perinatal development, postnatal care, that's where Juice Plus comes in. And then the Shred 10 program really takes it to the next level because Juice Plus acts as a catalyst for change. And we're going to talk more about Shred 10. We've got an awesome story to share with you in just a little bit. But this program fits in perfectly for families and women before, during, and after pregnancy. So what is it exactly? You might be wondering, what is it? Well, it's a variety of 30 different fruits, vegetables, and berries in capsule or chewable form. And yeah, so you heard me right, capsule or chewable form, 30 different fruits, vegetables, and berries. How convenient is that? We also have a full spectrum plant-based omega and a vegan, low glycemic, gluten-free, dairy-free, plant-based protein that you can use to make shakes or smoothies. Remember what I talked about, having 2 of those a day during pregnancy. Some of the things that really stood out to me as a healthcare professional when I look at this is it's made from vine-ripened produce. So produce is actually at the peak of nutrition. It's tested for purity and tested for nutrient content. It's bioavailable, meaning it actually gets into the bloodstream. We're going to talk about all this in just a minute. And that's very unlike these vitamins that basically are expensive urine because they don't typically get into your blood. And it's the most thoroughly researched nutritional product in the world, and I'll get into that in just a bit. Plus, it's affordable and it's convenient. So it's really important when we combine all of these together, and when we do, we get 45 different plants coursing through our bodies every single day. So let's go back to those questions that I talked about. Number 1, is it safe? This is critically important for us as women to consider this. Definitely during pregnancy and for our children, but really at any time during life. So is it safe? Okay, so Juice Plus, this is fascinating. If you look at the left side of this slide, it's going to give you some really cool information that you need to know for your family. Juice Plus starts with farm fresh nutrition. So each capsule and chewable is the product of high quality plants and seeds. So it really starts, with the seed level. They've been well cultivated and in these fields and orchards, and it's the best fruit from the best fruit and vegetable farmers. So it starts way back then. And after the fruits and vegetables are grown, they're harvested and cleaned and juiced and dried. Then they're blended into this nutritious Juice Plus product that's made part of our healthy diet. So they start with this farm fresh produce, the highest quality fruits and vegetables that they can find. And whenever possible, they're working with mid-sized family farms run by some of the absolute best fruit and vegetable farmers in North America. And that helps the process that really forms the process of hand picking this high quality nutrition. And so, if you think about it, you guys, why does it matter that it's vine ripened? And it's because fruits and vegetables lose so much of their nutritional content when they're picked early and when they're shipped long distances. So they solve that problem by locating juicing and drying facilities as close to the farmers as possible. And when it's not close enough, then they'll use this individual quick freezing process to ensure that the freshness stays intact for each fruit and vegetable. And once the produce has been harvested and cleaned, it goes through a proprietary, juicing and drying process. So they start with the whole food, not an isolated supplement. The entire food is put in. They juice the whole fruit vegetable, including peels, leaves, and seeds whenever possible to harvest the highest quality nutrients. And they don't shortcut the drying process like so many others do. And then there's this. And I absolutely loved this, reading this, learning about this, studying this as a mom. So careful testing and independent experts actually ensure the natural purity of the finished products. So remember, we're asking, is this safe? Juice Plus is produced at state-of-the-art facilities that meet or exceed the highest food standards at these, like I said, state-of-the-art facilities. And these standards are, met for blending, encapsulating, and packaging. So the safety standards are reviewed, and the facilities are even inspected by NSF, which is a public health and safety company. So NSF is a non-for-profit, and they inspect and certify the products. And all Juice Plus products undergo independent testing that ensures they meet and exceed, actually not just meet, but it exceeds strict guidelines and deliver only the best quality nutrition. So for us as moms, future moms, people who are pregnant right now, we know with 100% certainty that Juice Plus products are free of any contaminants known to man. So this actually makes it better than organic. And remember what we talked about with the naturally occurring folate versus this folic acid? Juice Plus has this naturally occurring folate from the plants and the lemon peel. That is so important for us to know as moms. So question number two, will my body absorb it? So how about this one? Will it actually get into my bloodstream? Because you need to know this too. Is it going to get to my baby? Is it going to help protect my baby? This is critically important for all of us as well. And we really do need to consider this and take a look at it. And so the good news is that Juice Plus has been proven. It's been proven that the human body is receptive to absorbing the nutrients in Juice Plus. In fact, 19, you can see them listed here, 19 different publications have found that there were significant increases in blood levels of the antioxidants and other phytonutrients after taking Juice Plus. This is fascinating, and this is such good news. So remember what we said earlier about prenatals, that I personally could not find one that had any research proving it's bioavailable. This Juice Plus is completely different and gives us so much peace of mind. So how about, is it proven to do anything? So, okay, we've got it safe for mom and baby. We've got that it gets into the bloodstream. How about number 3, is it proven? Or how do we know if it's actually going to do anything? Well, we know that it is. So I could talk for days really on this one, but the simple answer to a critically important question is a resounding yes. In fact, Juice Plus is the most thoroughly researched nutritional product in the entire world. More than 30 Juice Plus studies have been conducted in leading hospitals and universities all around the world, including places like Brigham Young University, Georgetown University, Nemours Children's Clinic, University of Maryland School of Medicine, Vanderbilt University, MD Anderson Cancer Center, Yale, and that's just to name a few. You can see them all listed here. And so what are the things that it's proven to do? So this is an extensive list on this slide right here of the things that we know Juice Plus is doing in our bodies every single day, even if we can't feel it. In my opinion, this is so reassuring to know that I had this in my body every day before both of my pregnancies, before, during, and still today, and for every day as long as I live. So I'm excited now to introduce you to a friend of mine. Her name is Annie Ferret. And Annie, we are really excited to hear your story of Juice Plus, why it made sense to you, and how it's helped you so far.
Awesome. Thanks, Casey. Can you guys hear me? Good? Awesome. Like Casey said, my name is Annie, and I'm really, really grateful to just be a person who gets to share this with you. I don't take the miracle that it is to have a healthy pregnancy and deliver a healthy baby. I don't take that lightly at all. And so my story, I have an almost 4-year-old, similar to Casey, and a 9-week-old little boy now. My first pregnancy, I was on your typical multivitamin, and I joke that my almost 4-year-old was actually made up of ice cream. I took in a lot of ice cream. I would say that was my sole prenatal nutrition during that particular pregnancy. Yes, I took the multivitamin. I did those things. But this second one was different for me. I went into it with a little bit of fear, honestly. I was 35 when my husband and I were talking about whether or not we should expand our family, and not that that is old at all, but it felt a little on the older side to me, and I was concerned. I thought, will I have the energy to keep up? Will I have the energy? I remember being exhausted during the first trimester, and now having a toddler, what in the world will that look like to be going through that while chasing after a toddler? I can't lay down and take a nap anytime when you're chasing after a toddler. And so there were some fears in that. I also, in the past, had struggled with severe anemia to the point where I actually had to have a couple of blood transfusions and some iron infusions. And so that was always a concern as well, that my doctors were really watching that close. And so there were some fears going into things, but I knew that I was flooding my body with some different things this time around. Fruits and vegetables that had a label that I totally understood. I could read all the things. I knew what those were. And I thought, okay, we're going for this. And I couldn't imagine a healthier, stronger start for my little guy as he grew inside. I was shocked that first trimester didn't knock me out the same way that it did the first time around. I was amazed that I could actually keep up with my son as he ran around, and actually took that corner into second trimester thinking, I actually kind of breezed through it. I was amazed by that, and didn't have that kickstart of re-energy because it never ever actually went away from me. So I was pretty amazed by that. My iron levels never dipped at all during pregnancy. I remained really healthy. And while yes, similar kind of like what Casey was saying, as I gave into some of those cravings along the way, this kiddo wasn't made up of ice cream. My cravings were different. I was going after the things that my body actually needed in order to fuel it. And so it's really remarkable to me, and I just continue to go back to that gratefulness. It's remarkable to me what our bodies are capable of when we give them what they need. And so he was delivered safe, healthy he was actually 8 days early, but incredibly healthy. He was ready to meet the world. I say that he was just ready to jump into the party a little bit early. But he was so healthy, and I was so healthy in the hospital that we actually got to go home after 24 hours. My milk supply, which is another miracle that I don't take lightly, because I know I have a number of friends who have not been able to breastfeed their babies, and I kind of joke that I'm producing whole milk this time around, and lots of it. It's been slightly overwhelming, but amazing what I'm able to give to my little guy and know exactly what that is that's going through, and knowing that what I'm flooding my body with, he's actually getting, that it's not stopping, it's not getting discarded somewhere, but knowing what that really is. And my recovery even has been incredibly quick. Much faster than it was. I was up and going just days later, and felt really good, which I was really surprised by, because my first pregnancy, actually, there were some bumps in the road along my recovery, and I didn't feel great, and it was several months before I actually felt good, and several months until I was able to get back into some of my own clothes, which, through what I'm flooding my body with, the Shred 10 program, I'm happy to say that I'm actually back into my normal clothes when he's 9 weeks old, and we're healthy. We're doing really well. And so that's just a piece of my story. If I could sit down face to face with you, I'd tell you more of it, but it just is. I go back to that. Wow. Isn't it amazing what our bodies are capable of when we fuel them with what they really need?
It is amazing. Thank you so much, Annie. I love your story. So you guys, I want to introduce you to someone else. His name is Dr. Douglas Odom, and he is an OBGYN who he's both a medical professor and a private practice physician. He's presented numerous research articles at medical conferences on the topic of pregnancy. And his research has further proved to me that Juice Plus is the top of the top for prenatal health and supplementation. So he assessed the effect of Juice Plus on premature birth, premature labor, preterm birth, preeclampsia, birth weight, and fetal growth. And here's a short video from him on the topic of nutrition and pregnancy and how he sees it.
I've always been interested in nutrition, even before I found Juice Plus. I would counsel patients, and when it got beyond my area of expertise, I would send them to a dietitian or nutritionist. But when we found Juice Plus, we found finally a vehicle by which we could get basic nutrition into all of our patients. We've been so thankful that we've found Juice Plus.
So here are the results from his own personal study he did on Juice Plus in his pregnant population. And these results, you guys, are amazing. I hope you can see these well on the screen. Look at the difference between the middle column, which is the control group or the no Juice Plus group, and then the group on the far right, which is the moms who took Juice Plus during their pregnancy. And if you compare the two, every single parameter was markedly improved in the Juice Plus group, from preeclampsia being down 21% in the control group to 0 in the Juice Plus group, NICU admissions being down by the same amount, and C-sections being down by nearly 20%. So I'm going to introduce you now to another friend of mine, Tour. So I want to touch on the Shred 10 program, and you heard me talk about it briefly earlier. You heard Annie touch on it. Annie's got her baby now too. Isn't this perfect? Moms on a mission, talking about pregnancy and Juice Plus and what we can do for our families, and all the babies are coming out. But I want to touch on the Shred 10 program again, because I want moms to know about this. So this is a lifestyle program, you guys, where we make important changes that really help our body to detoxify on a daily basis. And it's fun, it's effective, it's totally doable, and it's a jump start to create better health. So for 10 days, yeah, you heard me right, just 10 days out of every month, we shred the food and the bad habits that are not serving us, and we focus on clean living and flooding our bodies with whole food nutrition, which is the theme of this whole webinar. So this 10-day jumpstart is the beginning of a 4-month period to education and healthy changes that will really and truly revolutionize your health for years to come. And I love that this program is healthy and safe for the entire family. So it's safe for everyone. It's safe before pregnancy, during pregnancy, after pregnancy, and people are getting incredible results. And I can't think of a better way for a mom to really get on that jump start to better health after, wrapping up her pregnancy, having her new baby with her. So I'm going to go now to our friend Ashley, who's going to share her amazing pregnancy and Shred 10 story with you all.
Can you guys hear me? Okay. Thanks, Casey. Thanks for having me on tonight. My name is Ashley Burr. I'm a family nurse practitioner. I'm a wife, and I'm a mom of 2. I just recently had my second child about a month ago. When I was first introduced to Juice Plus during my second pregnancy, not gonna lie, I was a little skeptical. However, I suffered a lot of morning sickness, and so I wanted to make sure I was flooding my body with proper nutrients. And so I did the research on Juice Plus. I went to a lot of events, and after that, I knew this was the product for me, and I knew it was safe to take. During my first pregnancy, I had elevated blood pressure, and I had to be induced at 39 weeks. During my second pregnancy, I had normal blood pressure throughout. I maintained a healthy pregnancy. I craved fruits and vegetables, which is crazy when you're pregnant. And on October 6th, I went into labor on my own, and I delivered a healthy 7.4-pound baby boy. I also just recently completed my first Shred 10 program, and oh my gosh, it was amazing. I lost 5 pounds. I weigh less now than I did pre-pregnancy. Kind of amazing. And I don't crave sweets like I did. I've been cutting out carbs, and overall I feel great. And I loved the online support that we had and the recipes.
Oh, Ashley, you're so awesome. Thank you so much. And we are so happy for you. Like, how cool is that for a mom to have that confidence, bring a healthy baby into the world? And all these babies, you guys, are so beautiful. So thank you to all the moms who shared. And then to be able to jump into the lifestyle program with the Shred 10 whenever you're ready and get back into your clothes like Annie was talking about, and get your figure back or whatever matters to you. Just really, it's about feeling your best. This isn't necessarily a weight loss program. It's about flooding our bodies with the good stuff and feeling more health and vitality in our life and feeling our best. So thank you all for sharing. So I want to touch briefly on how kids can eat free, because we're all moms on here, or people who are interested in becoming moms or know someone who's a mom. And another great perk for us moms, as for our babies as they get older, is that kiddos age 4 and older can eat Juice Plus for free as part of our Healthy Starts for Families program. So Juice Plus designed this wellness initiative to inspire healthy living at home and empower families to make simple but meaningful lifestyle changes that would propel them forward on their journey to better health. So this program, you guys, I know Ashley just touched on it, but it provides a wealth of resources for really that truly holistic approach to family health. We provide support, recipes, content, tips to really help people focus on those 4 core pillars of wellness. And we have this family health study to document the lasting positive effects on the changes that families are making. And as I said, as a bonus, qualifying customers will receive free capsules or chewables for their child for up to 4 years. So I personally sponsored my niece for 4 years, and her health results are incredible. So I want to share with you just briefly the results of this family health study. The results are fascinating to me, and they speak for themselves. I mean, if you just look at a few of these parameters, 56% of kids taking fewer over-the-counter and or prescription medications, 66% visiting the doctor less, and then I know a couple of the ladies touched on this tonight, but even our kids are seeing it. 61% of kids eating more fruits and vegetables. So what mom wouldn't want that? I don't know anybody who wouldn't. So as I mentioned earlier, together, we're a community of moms and dads too, on a mission to share our own personal stories and inspire other families to make informed decisions for themselves and for their family's health. Amanda's back. I see you, Amanda. Are you good? Yes? Okay, awesome. I would love for them to hear your story. She has a great story.
Okay, I am so sorry about that. My husband is gone for work, and I am home with both the kids. And he woke up literally right after you got done with the Dr. Odom story. So yes, I have my master's in exercise science, and I'm a certified personal trainer and a certified health coach with a focus in prenatal nutrition. I'm a mom of 2, and I have a 4-year-old and a 4-month-old, which I think you may have just briefly met both of them right there. When I got pregnant with Everett, I did our regular prenatal vitamin. I thought I ate healthy. I was chronically fatigued. I had some digestive issues and those kind of things, those normal type of pregnancy symptoms that you hear about quite often, right? Other than that, I thought we had a pretty healthy pregnancy, and we had a big surprise come at us when he was born almost 5 weeks early. He came at 34.5 weeks. When I was rushed in for an emergency C-section, he was footling breech, and when he came out, he was having some trouble breathing, and he was in respiratory distress. We ended up doing 10 days in the NICU, which 10 days isn't a long stint in the NICU. That's a very short stint for the NICU stay. But when you have a NICU baby, whether it's 1 day or 2 months, it's really overwhelming, and it's a lot, and it can cause a lot of trauma and post things that go on. And I had a rough recovery from that C-section, and I had issues with breastfeeding as well, with him being so small, and milk supply and hormone issues and all kinds of stuff happened. I ended up actually losing my supply around 5 months. That is when I started Juice Plus, is right at that 5-month mark with him. And so we've been on it. My family's been on it for going on 4 years now. It'll be 4 years at the end of February, I believe. So we knew we wanted to have another baby, and when we decided to do that, I wanted the optimal nutrition. I was already on Juice Plus, so I was really happy with that, and that's what we use for our sole prenatal for our second child. She is 4 months now, and I had a lot of redos I wanted to do. So I want to be a little bit more mindful this pregnancy, and I had a lot of goals I wanted to meet. I wanted to keep my energy levels up, and I wanted to do a VBAC. I didn't want to have another cesarean, and I wanted to go full term. That was my first and foremost. I want to make that 37-week mark. That was a big deal for me. When I went for my first appointment with her, since I was high risk preterm with Everett, my doctor suggested the progesterone shot. It's a shot they give women, or they suggest, or it's recommended now that they give all women with preterm labor or with who had a preterm birth before. And so I went home and I researched, and I knew that really wasn't for me. But one of the biggest correlations I found with preterm birth and nutrition is the omega. So they say omegas is what I found is the biggest correlation with preterm birth and going full term. So I doubled up on our omegas right away, and I doubled up on our trio, and I did 2 shakes a day, and I've been doing 2 shakes a day for the last 4 years. So I really didn't change a whole lot. I had one constant through this whole pregnancy, and that was my Juice Plus. And I got to meet all my goals, which was really happy. I was active, and I'm a really active person, so I got to stay highly active with my workouts. I ran a half marathon when I was 26 weeks pregnant this time around. We went 39.2 days, or 39.2 weeks, and she was born with a normal VBAC. Everything went perfectly and smoothly. My recovery this time has been phenomenal. I mean, I had a VBAC compared to that C-section, so it's been amazing. I'm back to running and working out, not full speed, but still doing a lot of corrective exercise with that. And breastfeeding is going really well. It's completely different with her. She's growing like a weed. In Everett, we had so much trouble getting to gain weight, and we had to supplement with formula. And I haven't had an issue with her at all. So it's been night and day between my 2 experiences. And I'm very happy I got to share with you, finally.
Yes. Wow. And all the moms said, wow. I mean, that is so awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Not just to you, Amanda, but to all of you ladies. And I mean, it's just incredible. We're so happy for you. We are so happy. We're honored to share this message. And like I said at the beginning of this call, we approach the subject with humility and from a humble heart, because we know that so many moms, or so many moms struggle with their children's health, and so many women want to be pregnant. And so we come to you with open hearts to share this message and share our stories with you. And I'm so happy for every single one of you on here, sharing your stories, and for your children's health, and for all of it. So thank you all for sharing. And I want to, in closing, tell everyone, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Whether you're on here live with us or you're catching a replay, thanks for coming on. And we ask that you share this message with anyone who's either pregnant or planning to get pregnant or has children. And we ask that you get with the person who invited you to this, to get your questions answered, to really make an informed decision. And my wish is that as women, we can take, proactive action for ourselves and our families to set ourselves and our children up for success and really a lifetime of health and vitality. And remember, knowledge is power, but knowledge without action is useless. We offer you guys these free online webinars once a month on Monday nights. The next one is in December, on Monday, December 17th at the same time. And on that one, we're going to be focusing on healthy, sustainable weight loss as we round out 2018 and look into 2019. So we invite you to join us for that one as well, and bring any friends and or family who may be interested. And we thank you all for being here, and have an awesome night, everybody.